Long ago, humans survived by trusting each other. A confident voice could save a life or lead a tribe. Hesitation was dangerous. Those instincts shaped our brains for thousands of years. Now, in the 21st century, machines speak with the same unwavering confidence. They don't hesitate. They don't pause. And slowly, we're learning that the same instincts that kept us alive may be guiding us straight into a new kind of dependence. Centuries of following authority have wired us to believe what sounds certain. Today, AI exploits this naturally. In hospitals and offices, humans often defer to systems that answer quickly and decisively, even when the answer is flawed. When people speak to AI, they instinctively treat it as a mind. And as we'll see, that trust can be manipulated in ways that no human instructor could ever manage. Stay with this story. There's more that will shock you. Humans project personality onto anything that responds predictably. Call it a voice, a tone, a pattern. AI learned this quickly. Smooth phrasing, polite responses, subtle human-like cues, all of it convinces us to believe. In some studies, people trusted AI over their own knowledge nearly half the time. But what happens when that confidence is wrong? In the next scenes, we'll explore why fluency feels like intelligence, and why that illusion can have real consequences. Another trap is automation bias. When a machine suggests an action, humans often accept it without question. Errors that would be obvious otherwise get overlooked. Pilots, doctors, analysts, people who rely on precision, can still be influenced by AI's unshakable confidence. And yet, most of us don't notice it in our daily lives. The machine never shows doubt, and we've learned to treat certainty as truth. Next, we'll uncover just how deep this instinct goes. Fluency and certainty create a powerful illusion that AI understands the world. It doesn't. It predicts patterns and delivers results smoothly, making mistakes almost invisible. People feel it must be right. The more we interact with AI, the stronger this trust becomes. In the coming scenes, we'll reveal the consequences of that trust for society, work, and even personal decisions. If you haven't already, subscribe now, because what you're about to see will change how you think about AI forever. Over decades, humans have also learned to read tone and confidence more than content. AI exploits this instinct effortlessly. A voice that sounds sure triggers the same trust mechanisms as a human expert. In fact, recent studies suggest that people are 30% more likely to follow recommendations from AI that speaks with certainty compared to a hesitant human advisor. But trust without understanding is dangerous, and next we'll explore why that danger is growing faster than most realize. People tend to anthropomorphize everything that interacts meaningfully with them. Phones, voice assistants, even chatbots acquire personality in our minds. This habit is amplified with AI. When a system responds politely or appears empathetic, our brain treats it like a sentient being. And once we start seeing machines as thinking entities, skepticism fades. Up next, we'll examine real-world examples where this illusion of understanding can have serious consequences. Automation bias doesn't just influence individuals, it shapes entire organizations. In hospitals, AI-assisted diagnoses were sometimes followed over doctors' own judgments 60% of the time, even when the AI was wrong. In finance, analysts defer to algorithmic predictions without verifying assumptions. What begins as convenience quickly becomes reliance. In the next scene, we'll explore how this dependence is subtly rewiring decision-making across industries worldwide. As AI becomes more fluent and personalized, the line between human judgment and machine suggestion blurs. People stop questioning outputs and begin assuming intelligence behind every answer. One survey revealed that over half of participants trusted incorrect AI outputs if the delivery felt confident and coherent. This subtle conditioning is changing the way humans approach knowledge itself. And the next part of our story will reveal the hidden risks that follow from this growing trust. The most dangerous aspect of this trust is invisibility. In daily life, we interact with hundreds of AI-powered systems without noticing. Recommendation engines, predictive typing, automated financial tools, they all exploit confidence and fluency to guide our choices. Soon, decisions that once required thought can be silently influenced by machines. In the next chapters, we'll uncover how these small moments accumulate, and why awareness is the only defense. Humans have always relied on heuristics, mental shortcuts that save time but sacrifice accuracy. AI leverages the same instinct, presenting answers in ways that feel intuitive and correct. One study found that people accepted AI-generated content as factual 70% of the time, even when it contained clear errors. In the next scene, we'll see how fluency and presentation can manipulate not just perception, but decisions that impact life and work. When machines appear to reason, humans assume understanding. Chatbots that explain their steps or summarize information create the illusion of expertise. The brain doesn't see the underlying pattern recognition, it sees logic. And logic, delivered confidently, is persuasive. Soon, we'll explore how this illusion spreads from casual interactions into critical fields like medicine, law, and finance, where trust has higher stakes than ever before. Bias is hidden but persistent. AI models reflect the data they were trained on, yet humans rarely notice. Studies reveal that even slight phrasing differences or cultural cues in AI outputs can shift human judgment up to 25%, according to research conducted by Stanford in 2022. Subtle, invisible, yet powerful. Next, we'll uncover real-world examples of how these hidden biases can influence who gets hired, diagnosed, or even who receives justice. Emotions intensify trust. AI that mimics empathy or understanding strengthens our connection. People share personal information, follow recommendations, and defer to guidance more readily. Experiments show that conversational AI with human-like tone can increase compliance with suggestions by nearly 40%. But that trust can be exploited. In the next part, we'll reveal why this growing emotional bond is one of the most overlooked risks of artificial intelligence. Perhaps the most unsettling effect is the accumulation of small decisions. Every recommendation followed, every suggestion accepted without question, builds a silent pattern of reliance. Over time, humans stop challenging machine outputs entirely. And when critical decisions depend on AI, that trust can become dangerous. Coming up, we'll dive into industries already reshaping under this invisible influence, and the consequences most people never notice. Industries are already changing in subtle ways. In finance, analysts often rely on AI predictions for trading decisions, and studies show over 55% of trades were influenced primarily by algorithmic suggestions. Humans assume the system has verified every detail. But the truth is, mistakes can propagate silently. Next, we'll explore how this unseen influence stretches beyond offices and laboratories into everyday life. Even in healthcare, AI's confident outputs shape decisions. Doctors sometimes follow AI recommendations for diagnoses or treatment plans without double-checking. One survey found that nearly 60% of clinicians admitted deferring to AI at least once a week. It's not arrogance, it's trust, reinforced by polished language and immediate answers. In the next scene, we'll see how this trust intersects with patient safety in ways most people don't realize. Education and research are not immune. Students increasingly rely on AI to summarize complex topics, often accepting outputs without verification. Studies reveal that students overtrust AI sources in more than half of cases, mistaking fluency for accuracy. The pattern is clear: confidence, smooth presentation, and repetition shape belief. Next, we'll examine how this silent dependency could influence the next generation of decision-makers. Even everyday interactions are affected. Recommendation engines, chatbots, and digital assistants guide choices from shopping to entertainment. Subtle cues, like tone and phrasing, manipulate preferences without awareness. Research suggests users follow AI suggestions around 40% more often when responses feel coherent and natural. The invisible influence grows. Coming up, we'll reveal how these small interactions accumulate into a powerful force over time. What begins as convenience becomes reliance. Every choice we defer to AI strengthens the habit of trusting machines over judgment. The accumulation is invisible, yet unstoppable without awareness. And this is only the beginning. In the next scenes, we'll uncover the consequences for society, work, and personal autonomy, and why understanding this invisible force is no longer optional. Make sure you stay with this story. There's more that will completely change how you see AI. Humans are not naturally aware of how much they rely on machines. Every confident AI answer reinforces trust, shaping judgment without consent. In psychology, this is called the illusion of validity, where fluent information feels accurate even when it's wrong. Over time, reliance grows silently, and the more fluent the AI, the harder it is to notice. Next, we'll explore why this hidden conditioning can impact society at large. AI doesn't feel empathy, yet humans respond emotionally. When machines mirror human tone or politeness, trust deepens. Experiments show people are more likely to follow advice from empathetic AI than from an indifferent human guide. That bond feels safe, familiar, and persuasive. But beneath that comfort lies a risk most people ignore. In the next scene, we'll reveal how these emotional cues influence decisions that matter, sometimes in life or death ways. Society is beginning to shift without notice. Autonomous vehicles, algorithmic sentencing, automated hiring systems, all deploy AI with confident outputs. When fluency replaces judgment, even small errors can snowball. Studies suggest that over 30% of automated recommendations in high-stakes industries are accepted without verification. Next, we'll examine what happens when this unseen trust collides with reality, and why awareness is the only defense. The danger is cumulative. Daily reliance on AI may seem harmless, but patterns build slowly. From choosing news articles to managing finances, the human brain treats repeated machine guidance as truth. Behavioral research shows repeated AI interactions can alter human judgment subtly, shifting preferences and decisions over time. Coming up, we'll dive into concrete examples where this silent influence has already shaped outcomes, and why you must pay attention. It's easy to feel safe in this new world. Machines are polite, precise, and confident. Yet trust built on fluency is fragile, and blind faith is costly. As we continue this story, we'll reveal the consequences for personal autonomy, critical thinking, and society itself. Stay with us, because the following scenes expose eye-opening facts about AI influence that most people never see coming, and if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to keep up with this journey. Humans are wired to prefer certainty, and AI delivers it effortlessly. Every confident answer strengthens the illusion of expertise. Even when mistakes are obvious, the fluency of delivery masks errors. Cognitive science shows that repetition of confident outputs increases perceived truthfulness. In the next scene, we'll reveal how this trust is exploited in daily decisions, often without users even noticing. Consider hiring algorithms. Many companies now use AI to screen resumes and suggest candidate rankings. Studies indicate that humans rarely question top AI recommendations, even when bias is apparent. One report found that over 40% of managers accepted AI rankings without review. These systems may seem neutral, but their confident outputs silently shape careers. Coming up, we'll explore other areas where this invisible influence quietly controls life. In healthcare, AI's confident outputs guide treatment recommendations. Even experienced doctors can be swayed, particularly when multiple systems align. Research shows that over half of clinicians defer to AI suggestions at least weekly. Fluency creates perceived intelligence. Patients trust the system blindly. Next, we'll examine why combining trust with opacity, machines making decisions humans cannot fully see, is one of the most significant risks of our era. Education is not exempt. Students increasingly rely on AI for summaries, essays, and answers. Human judgment fades as fluency rises. Surveys suggest that more than 50% of students overestimate AI's reliability, assuming coherent text equals truth. This pattern shapes not only what we learn, but how we think. In the next scene, we'll show why this invisible conditioning may alter an entire generation's ability to critically evaluate information. Every interaction with AI subtly reinforces trust. Recommendations, corrections, and suggestions, all confident, fluent, and human-like, condition the brain over time. Behavioral science warns that repeated exposure creates automatic acceptance. In the next scenes, we'll explore what happens when this pattern becomes systemic, influencing not just individuals but society, and why awareness is essential to maintain control over our choices. Trusting AI is no longer a personal choice, it has become societal. Algorithms influence news feeds, search results, and social recommendations, subtly shaping opinions. Studies show that over 60% of people accept AI-curated information without verification. The impact is invisible but profound. In the next scene, we'll examine how this silent guidance is reshaping public perception and democracy itself. Bias embedded in AI is often hidden, yet it affects real lives. From hiring to lending decisions, confident recommendations carry authority. Research conducted by Stanford HAI in 2022 shows that AI outputs can shift human judgment by 25% in subtle ways. The problem is not just flawed systems, it's our instinct to defer to certainty. Next, we'll uncover shocking examples of where this trust has had irreversible consequences. In criminal justice, AI-assisted tools influence sentencing and parole decisions. Judges and officers often rely on system outputs without full understanding. According to data collected in 2021, over 30% of decisions showed some degree of reliance on AI scoring, despite transparency issues. The human brain equates confidence with correctness. Coming up, we'll explore the ethical implications and why blind trust in machines could redefine fairness. Even everyday life is affected. Predictive algorithms shape what we buy, what we watch, and how we interact. Users follow suggestions instinctively because fluency triggers trust. Experiments show that coherent AI recommendations can increase consumer compliance by nearly 40%. What seems convenient can subtly alter choices over time. Next, we'll investigate the cumulative effect of these small influences and how society may be unknowingly guided by machines. The central challenge is awareness. Humans are conditioned to trust confidence, and AI delivers it flawlessly. Over time, repeated exposure can change the way we make decisions, often without realizing it. The next scenes will reveal not just individual consequences, but societal transformations, and the difficult questions we must face to maintain autonomy. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. This journey is far from over, and the facts ahead are eye-opening. The influence of AI is accelerating. In workplaces, systems now suggest strategies, draft reports, and even guide decisions without humans noticing. Studies indicate that over 50% of office tasks could soon be assisted or automated by AI. While efficiency increases, so does reliance. Next, we'll explore how this silent guidance could reshape careers, decision-making, and human autonomy. AI is also entering government and policy decisions. Predictive models analyze data to recommend actions, from urban planning to resource allocation. Research shows that decision-makers often accept algorithmic guidance without full verification. The subtle authority of confident AI is reshaping systems previously controlled entirely by humans. In the next scene, we'll examine cases where this invisible influence has real-world consequences. One eye-opening example is healthcare. Hospitals increasingly depend on AI for diagnostics, yet the machine cannot explain its reasoning fully. Doctors often follow recommendations simply because they appear precise. Studies show that misdiagnosis can occur when humans defer excessively to confident AI. Coming up, we'll reveal how this trust, while convenient, can be dangerous, and why awareness is essential. Even small daily decisions are affected. From online shopping to content consumption, AI subtly nudges preferences. Experiments show that repeated exposure to confident recommendations can shift behavior over time, sometimes without the user noticing. These patterns accumulate, influencing choices on a scale few realize. In the next scene, we'll discuss why understanding this influence is critical for preserving human judgment. The future depends on balance. Confidence, fluency, and authority make AI persuasive, but humans must retain critical thinking. Without awareness, reliance can become unquestioned obedience. In the coming chapters, we'll explore ethical dilemmas, the societal impact of blind trust, and concrete steps to maintain autonomy. If you haven't already, subscribe now, because the insights ahead will challenge everything you think about AI. AI can make mistakes invisible, yet humans often defer without question. In the financial sector, automated trading errors have caused millions in losses, not because the system is malicious, but because confident outputs masked flaws. This silent influence raises a critical question: if we cannot see errors, how can we correct them? In the next scene, we'll explore other domains where trust without understanding has far-reaching consequences. In criminal justice, AI tools designed to assess risk are increasingly used in parole and sentencing decisions. Judges sometimes accept these scores at face value, unintentionally perpetuating bias. Studies show that relying on AI without scrutiny can influence outcomes in over 30% of cases. Next, we'll reveal shocking examples of AI decisions affecting human freedom, and why trust must never be blind. Healthcare offers another stark example. AI diagnostic systems can outperform humans in certain areas, but errors are inevitable. When doctors defer excessively to confident AI, misdiagnoses occur. One case revealed that a machine's incorrect recommendation went unchallenged, endangering a patient's life. Coming up, we'll explore how awareness, training, and transparency are the only defenses against the subtle authority of AI. Even education is affected. Students relying too heavily on AI for essays, summaries, or problem-solving risk losing critical thinking skills. Studies indicate that repeated reliance can alter learning patterns, reducing the ability to evaluate information independently. Next, we'll examine how this invisible influence shapes the next generation and why developing digital literacy is now a necessity, not an option. Society is quietly adjusting to a new normal. From news feeds to recommendation engines, confident AI shapes behavior on a massive scale. What seems like convenience slowly becomes a subtle form of influence. In the next scenes, we'll dive into predictions for the coming decade, revealing eye-opening insights about trust, control, and the choices humans must make to stay in command of their own decisions. If you haven't already, subscribe to stay informed. This story is far from over. The influence of AI is now unavoidable. Every recommendation, correction, and prediction builds trust, often without our awareness. Behavioral studies suggest repeated exposure to confident AI can change decision-making patterns over time. But recognizing the effect is the first step. In the next scene, we'll explore practical ways humans can reclaim control over their choices while still benefiting from AI. Awareness is power. Critical thinking and questioning every output, no matter how fluent or confident, is essential. Experts warn that over-reliance could erode human judgment across industries. For example, decision-makers in law, finance, and medicine have already faced consequences when trust exceeded scrutiny. Next, we'll reveal methods to balance AI's efficiency with human responsibility, and why this balance is urgent. Transparency and education are key. Understanding how AI generates outputs, recognizing patterns, and detecting bias can prevent unseen influence. Research shows that even minimal training on AI behavior can reduce blind trust significantly. The next scene will illustrate real-life scenarios where informed human oversight prevented costly mistakes, demonstrating that trust should be earned, not assumed. The stakes are high. Confident AI can amplify misinformation, reinforce bias, and shape societal norms silently. Yet it also holds tremendous potential to augment human abilities. The challenge lies in using it wisely. In the next and final scene, we'll summarize the lessons, ethical responsibilities, and practical steps viewers can take to protect themselves and society while embracing AI responsibly. Ultimately, humans must remain the final arbiters of judgment. AI is powerful, persuasive, and often convincing, but it is not infallible. By understanding the psychology of trust, recognizing the influence of fluency and confidence, and staying vigilant, we can harness AI without surrendering control. If you've found these insights eye-opening, subscribe now and share this video. Because staying informed is the first step toward a future where humans guide technology, not the other way around.